Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Looking forward to the game on Sunday against Nottingham Forest. Fingers crossed that doesn't get cancelled as well. And it's going to be a really interesting game. But just before I get into the transfers on that game, Arsenal going to be wearing an all-white kit. And when I first saw this, I was like, what? All white? Tottenham, all that sort of stuff, but it's for a brilliant cause. They're doing it. It's all about an anti-knife crime message, which anybody who lives in London will know that, there's a lot of teenagers that have died through knife crime last year and already this year. And it's a great message that they're sending, which they're basically saying no more red, which obviously the red they're signifying is the blood that is on the street. So well done for Arsenal for this initiative. Idris Elba's involved. Ian Wright's involved. I think is fantastic. So well done to Arsenal for that initiative. And they'll be wearing that one-off all-white kit in that game against Nottingham Forest, who, by the way, they wear it. So, but looking forward to that game. And it's going to be interesting to see certain players. If certain players play, I was thinking about it today. Leno. Listen, I think Leno's definitely going to be staying from now till the end of the season, and surely he'll be the one who'll play in all these FA Cup games. So if he doesn't play, you have to think to yourself, could he be going somewhere in January? Callum Chambers, who's been linked with a move away, will he play? Again, it's been interesting. What's been happening with him? He's had COVID and everything, but will he move? Pablo Mari. What's happening with him? Hasn't really figured at all, apart from right at the start of the season. It's hard for these guys to get game time at the moment because, you've got guys like Gabriel playing so well. Ben White, they're the established two. And there's no sort of Europa League games or anything like that for them to get game time. Could Pablo Mari, there's been a lot of rumors saying that he could be on the move this January. Could that happen? I think if he plays, it gives a strong indication that maybe he's not. And what about Balogun? He'll be one that I'm going to be interested to see if he plays. He's been heavily linked with a move to Middlesbrough, amongst a host of other teams that are interested in signing him. Will he play in that game as well? It's going to be very interesting to see. It will give a good indication, of sort of who Arsenal got in mind of moving on and who's staying. And of course, Eddie Nketiah, that's another one as well. Will he play in the game as well? So going to be interesting to see the lineup in that game. Really interesting because I would have thought quite a few of those players we haven't really figured should play in that game. If they don't, surely that means they're not going to be around. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, we know, is going to be on his way to Roma, so he won't play in the game. Talking of Rome and Italy and that, it's the strikers that we're trying to get. I've been speaking about this guy every day, the Serbian Dusan Vlahovic. Now, we all know the stories. I spoke about it earlier on in the week that Arsenal offered £46 million plus Lucas Torreira to sign Vlahovic. Lucas Torreira, of course, is already on loan at Fiorentina. And it seems like this hasn't really got anywhere, this offer. But Arsenal really do want to sign this guy, Vlahovic. They know it's difficult. It's really difficult to get done at the moment. And he has ambitions, really, according to his agents, of playing at what he deems a more higher level. And he seems to have his heart set on Juventus. That's a lot of the talk, that Juventus is where he would really like to play. But could that be scuppered by the fans of Fiorentina? I mean, they've already previously sold Federico Bernardeschi and Federico Chiesa, who's a brilliant player, by the way, Chiesa, to Juventus. I think sending another one of their star players in Vlahovic to Juventus will not go down well with their fans at all. And that might help Arsenal. It might be that Fiorentina will be like, we'd rather deal with Arsenal than, be selling another one of our star players onto Juventus for them to then go on and do brilliantly like guys like Chiesa have done. So that might work in Arsenal's favour. But a lot of it is down to where the player is going to want to go. Arsenal seem to have the money to get this done. They're tabling the money. They're putting the money on the table. They want to get this deal done. At the moment, it seems like a lot of it's down to the player and his representatives thinking to themselves, well, I don't know, Juventus, Champions League, biggest team in Italy, and maybe looking at other alternatives. That's why it's very important, I feel, this season that Arsenal try and get into the Champions League, because that really does help when you're trying to sign players of this caliber. But if they can't get in, will they turn to the alternative in another Serbian, in Luca Jovic? Of course, before Dusan Vlahovic was on the scene, recently, this was the Serbian guy, striker that everybody was raving at. When he was at Eintracht Frankfurt, he was absolutely tearing it up, scoring, I think over 40 goals he scored for them. Really did well for Eintracht Frankfurt. Got that big move to Real Madrid, and it has not worked out at all for him there. I mean, he barely plays for Real Madrid, and he's having a real tough time of things. He's said to be available for around about £80 million, according to Transfer Market, and surely they're going to have to move him on. I mean, look at the summer, what's looming. Mbappe is going to be coming in. That means he's going to have no chance of playing if Mbappe turns up. They've already got Benzema and a whole host of other players. Could this be an alternative that Arsenal could turn to? It's been rumoured around the place that Arsenal are interested, are looking at him as an alternative. Could he be a player that they could resurrect? You see a lot of players that, they obviously had ability to get them that mega move. They move, it doesn't work out, and then somebody else then comes in and takes them, and then they're able to then resurrect their career and, do bits again somewhere else. Could that be Luka Jovic as a much cheaper alternative to a Vlahovic and a guy who's similar? Let's see. It could be interesting. Maybe even as a loan. Should Arsenal be looking at this as a possible loan move that they could do to try and bring him into the Emirates? Because we know that they really want to get a striker and get him in on a loan and maybe take a closer look at him. Going to be interesting to see how that one develops out during the January transfer window. But rumours flying around today that Arsenal are looking at Luka Jovic as an alternative. One player who's not going to be coming to the Emirates is Phillipe Coutinho. We spoke about him yesterday. Definitely looks like he's on the way to Villa. He's signing for Villa on loan until the end of the season. So we won't be getting Coutinho. And I said numerous times since we've been sort of starting Transfer Daily this January that for me, too late. And we don't really need him right now. We've got Smith Rowe, we've got Odegaard. We're all right in that area of the midfield. I think where we sort of need a midfielder is more sort of defensive, box-to-box, progressive, that type of midfielder. And this guy fits the bill. Renato Sanches. Now, lots of rumours around about him today that Arsenal, again, looking at him, again, interested in him. He is available. Lille are willing to sell him. They said to have a gentleman's agreement with him where he can go. They want at least around about £25 million for him to go. Barcelona are said to be the chief rivals for his signature. There's rumours that he's a priority signing for them. Now, where they'll get the money for it, I mean, they signed Ferran Torres. They can't even register Ferran Torres. Well, actually, I guess they'll be able to register him now that Coutinho's moved out on loan. They'll be able to register Ferran Torres. But that's the trouble that they've been in, that they're having to, usher out players on loan to enable them to be able to register other players. That's the financial trouble they're in. So could Arsenal move for Renato Sanches? Certainly. I just keep looking at him thinking, surely they're going to get a midfielder with Ainsley Maitland-Niles moving out. So, I kind of, how I'm looking at it, looks to me like Arsenal would like a Dennis Zakaria. It looks like they favour somebody like that. But whether they'd be able to get a deal done like that this January transfer window, he is, on a free at the end of the season. Could they maybe move in, put some money in and try and get it done now? But we're light in that area. We're light in that area. And then I saw a rumor this week that Granit Xhaka hasn't even been training this week. So if Granit Xhaka's not been training, that just leaves for the game on Sunday, Sambi Lokonga. Or suppose we would have had the game against Liverpool. That would have been just like Sambi Lokonga in that area. Who else? What happens if, if he would have fallen out injured? So I really do think that this is a priority signing in that midfield to the two departments where we need the signings this January transfer window, midfield and a striker if we can get that person in. I think actually the midfield's even a bigger priority because there are players that can cover in that position. At the moment, we're not even really playing with an out-and-out striker. We're more, even Lacazette's like a false number 9. So the midfield for me is a priority. Will Arsenal get this done in the transfer window? It's going to be very interesting. 1 week gone now. Let's see what Arsenal do over the next 3 weeks. But listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe here to AFTV. And I will see you guys tomorrow with more transfer news.